Well, the second annual Bristol Bay Sockeye Salmon Week starts today, which means sockeye salmon fans will have the opportunity to try exclusive dishes featuring one of Alaska's most delicious and sustainable fish at many local restaurants. And one of those is Bar Dojo, and Chef Schubert Ho is back, this time salmon in hand. And I understand tacos are on the menu today?
Tacos.
I did not think that that's what you were going to bring today, but I have no doubt that you're going to make it amazing.
I mean, there are so many dishes from our restaurants that are participating this second annual year.
Yeah.
And over 50 in the greater Seattle area, but these tacos have been selling already like crazy.
That's awesome. And they look fantastic. So how do we get started?
Well, we have our sockeye salmon, and it's sustainable from Bristol Bay. One of the few sustainable fisheries. Alaska has that written into their constitution.
Do they really?
Yeah, about sustainable fishing. And we chop it up, and you know what? I'm going to go over these shells real quick.
Yes.
These are probably the crispiest, delicious wonton shells. And it's really hard to make them unless you have the right tools. What we have is this really cool fry basket, and you put the shell in there.
Oh, you put the shell on the outside?
You sandwich it in,
okay.
and then you just drop it in a fryer. Who has a fryer this big at home? But it's really fun. I'm going to get this out of our way
But
here.
you know what? I would have never thought of using a wonton shell for a taco, but
it's light
that's
and
why
it's
you're
crispy.
The chef.
It's delicious. Thanks. I'm demoing Chef Luis Brambila's salmon tartare, and what we're going to do is we're going to mix a bunch of these ingredients. I'm going to have you follow along with me.
Yes, I got you.
And for those of you who do not eat raw salmon, we have cooked as an option. You can always ask your server for that.
So if you come in and you see this on the menu and you think, oh, this looks great, but I don't eat raw salmon, just ask for them to cook it, and you're not going to offend anybody.
No, not at all.
Because I think some of us worry about that sometimes. We don't want to.
We want to be really accommodating to everybody's dietary restrictions and preferences. And we're going to mix it with a bunch of this sauce here. We have sriracha.
Okay.
And we have tamari.
Okay.
For the gluten-free aspect of it, if you need. Sesame oil.
I love sesame oil.
And then kimchi sauce.
Ooh, yum.
And go ahead and mix that all together.
Is there a way of mixing salmon so you don't like toughen it up, or you just kind of gently?
You want to be real gentle. When it's in its raw state, it won't get tough at all.
Okay.
It's when you want to cook it, you don't want to overcook it.
Got it. All right.
And then what we do here is also add in some coleslaw, and in the coleslaw is just some cabbage, carrots, and onions, and some kimchi.
God, this smells amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it smells really good. And then we're going to add in some kimchi sauce.
Okay.
And some yuzu.
Ooh.
Some citrus.
Yum.
And the assembly here is really simple. We want to fill in one of those shells.
Okay, copy that.
And then
I can do that.
for you, if you want a cooked salmon versus a raw salmon, it's really simple.
Okay.
So follow along with me. I'm going to fill the shell with
the raw salmon, by the way, is delicious. I sometimes in the morning would opt for cooked, but that's the thing is like whatever you're feeling that day. I love that you have the ability to choose.
Right.
So you do coleslaw first.
Coleslaw first, and then a little bit of the salmon. I'll do the raw, and you do the cooked there.
Copy that. All right. Is it better to put the coleslaw?
Whoop.
I'm a mess. I should have warned you about that. We've cooked together before, and you know it.
Absolutely.
So, all right, so I'm putting it in here.
And it's really nice to put the coleslaw on the bottom so that it holds the salmon on top.
That makes sense.
We're going to give it a little. We're going to give it a little dress of the avocado mousse.
You're like easy there, killer.
Right?
Finish it first.
Some chili crisp.
Chili crisp. This is something that has recently come into my life that has changed the way I think about things.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, cheers to you.
Cheers.
While we're eating this, and if I don't finish, talk about some of the other dishes you have here for for all of the restaurants that
There's
you have.
over 50 restaurants participating this year in the greater Seattle area, but 5 of ours in Edmonds and Seattle are participating. We have the cured salmon from Sunkai Sushi. At the Market Fishmonger, we have salmon chowder, Bar Dojo's tacos, a blackened salmon salad from Salt and Iron, and then a salmon carpaccio from Fire and the Feast.
I think you've ruined me for any taco ever again.
It's really good. It's easy to eat 10 of these.
I literally have. This is the best taco ever.
Well, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to put this back here because I'll keep eating it and I need to keep talking. But I want to ask also, why is it so important that we are looking at sustainable fisheries, and why are we important that we continue to ask when we go to a restaurant, where does this come from?
Absolutely. We want to keep our food products sustainable so that we have it for the next 100, 200, 300 years.
Right.
And to be able to keep the salmon fresh and catchable and alive and at a reasonable price, it's really important to emphasize that sustainability.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Bristol Bay, because I'm not familiar with it, and I'm trying to understand kind of where it is and what it does in relation to other fisheries.
Bristol Bay, many people don't know, is in Alaska, and it is a mineral-rich, super clean waterway that has huge amounts of salmon that swim back, and during the salmon season, they fish for the sockeye.
That's incredible.
It's really tasty stuff.
It's really important to do this and to try this. And by the way, it's also delicious. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this with us. Again, thank you for ruining tacos for me from anyone else again. And by the way, y'all, Salmon Week is all this week through November 12th at almost 50 Puget Sound restaurants from the Seattle to the East Side and in Edmonds, like Bar Dojo. And check the website right there for all the restaurants that are participating.